Welcome everybody to World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name is Maxwell and today's first video is from the user Babaran Studi. Probably pronouncing that incredibly wrong, but it looks to me like Babaran Studi. And he's driving the E25 on an encounter battle on Redshire. E25 is a tier 7 premium tank destroyer for the Germans. Obviously this thing doesn't suffer from the nerf to tank destroyers that came down recently, or last patch, and that's just due to the fact that it is a premium tank destroyer. If they went ahead and nerfed premium tank destroyers along with all of the other tank destroyers, they would have to start refunding people's gold, as they could argue that the tank wasn't as it was when they paid the money for it. So anyway, onto this replay. Already done a good chunk of 550 damage, which isn't too bad considering the alpha damage of this gun. Did land 3 good shots on an AMX 5100 and another nice one on a Chaffee there, as he's taken up a fantastic position on the ridge. Spotted some of those tanks coming in, but it looks like for some reason his allies aren't proving as... well, they're proving a little bit more reluctant to move forward than Babaran himself is. As you can see, I'm just going to take control of the camera. Most of his allies here also arranged on the hill, and only a Tiger 1 has advanced forward to the valley there in order to contest the enemy team. So I think they're probably going to get overrun pretty quickly here. So hopefully they can work some magic on that right-hand flank. Unfortunately, they've only got a Black Prince and an AMX M445 in the back over there, so this is going to be a little bit of a difficult battle here. Did land a shot there, but unfortunately that one just bounced. Is taking fire from somewhere now. Looks like it's that Indian Panzer up on the hill. Just checking if I still had control of the camera there, because he wasn't looking in the direction. Hopefully the T29 and the AMX 12T can do something about that Indian Panzer, but I seriously doubt it considering he's a tier 9 medium. Sorry, tier 8 medium. Did get hit again in the track by the Indian Panzer, and I'm not sure, is he firing HE? Because he's just done 32 points of damage and damaged the track of the E25. Maybe switched across to HE because he knows that the E25's armor is particularly thin and was hoping he could maybe take a huge chunk of his hit points off. But anyway, as it is, took a little bit of damage from that Indian Panzer, so has decided to relocate now, especially because his allies on that far right-hand side have done absolutely terribly and are already in the process of being overrun, like was predicted earlier. So Babaran is dropping back in an effort to get some shots on the enemy team as they crest over the second hill. Unfortunately, it looks like the allies are holding them just far enough at bay that nobody on this hill is able to get a shot. Black Prince still advancing down that left-hand side. The AMX M445 has started to make a move, and this AMX 12T is still in the cap circle. Babaran just taking to some bushes here. Going to see who he can spot and who he can get some damage on. Did have a speculative shot at that Super Pershing there, but he was not in view, so that was never going to land. Just trying to find a good spot now where he can find somebody to shoot at and get some damage on. Was able to hit the T29 there, but he's pretty successfully hulled down, so those shots are never ever going to penetrate. Does find a Panzer Souffle across the way there. Well, lands one good shot. Got to line up another. Unfortunately, that one missed. Although the rate of fire of this tank is such that it doesn't really matter if you miss some shots, because you've got such a high rate of fire that you can just continue pumping the shells into the area and it doesn't really matter. And just look how many tanks the enemy team has on that right-hand side now. There's absolutely no way that one Tiger 1 was going to be able to hold them off, considering the IS-3, T95, Tiger P and T29 all camping on that ridge line behind there. If they'd gone to contest, that might have been a little bit more of a fair fight. Indian Panzer has been taken out now, so that's the only guy that we know of on this hill now defeated. Babaran still trying to find a place to settle. He's like a dog trying to go to sleep, just roaming around in circles, trying to find somewhere to settle. He lands a good shot on the Super Pershing, and the fact that the Super Pershing has backed off alludes to the fact that Babaran hasn't been spotted. Hit the side of a Lerva there. I'm surprised that one didn't penetrate. But again, he's still just waiting for somebody to present themselves as an easy target. Maybe this T29. Unfortunately, that one just missed. And the second one missed as well. Not having very much luck right now. Had a good start to the match, landing all of those shots on the AMX 5100 and taking out that Chaffee. Still trying to shoot at this T29, even though just his turret is visible, but I think he's had enough now. AMX 12T still in the cap circle. In fact, he's been joined now by that AMX M445. AMX decided that he doesn't want to go and fight the battle. He just wants to sit in the cap circle. Black Prince camping in the center of the map. Not sure why he's doing that, considering that the entirety of the enemy team is on that right-hand side. Now starting to make a beeline towards the center, considering that they now have 2 people in the cap circle, and that is up to 75 cap points now. Babaran's using this opportunity, the confusion that's been caused by the cappers and the quick falling of the right-hand flank, and he's now going to thrust deep into the enemy's territory. He's using auto-aim on this Tiger 1, but that's just in an effort to try and concentrate more on driving rather than shooting, and that is a valid tactic sometimes. Has taken out the tracks of the Tiger 1, but hasn't really done any damage. Decides to switch off the Tiger 1 as he finds 2 of the artillery here. Locks onto the Lorraine 15550. Lands 2 good hits. Can he land a third to take him out? He can indeed. Finds all of the artillery, in fact. Now he's going to switch his attention to GW Tiger, as he is definitely not looking, as he's just fired. So there's going to be nothing he can do about this, and Babaran takes him out now. He's got to work on the M4043. He's got to be careful, though, as the M40 looks like he's lining him up. He might have a shot. Babaran is fast enough to get alongside him, though. Unfortunately, he is a fixed-body tank destroyer, though, so he doesn't have a turret, so he's going to have to play this one carefully. Lands a great shot on the M4043 there, and then he's able to get alongside him and then get another good shot. And all he needs to do is rinse and repeat, and that is kill number 4. Picks up all 3 artillery there, and that is a well-deserved Pascucci's medal. And the napping Tiger 1 finally turns up after all is said and done, and all of his allies have been taken out. Now he is chasing the E25, but Babaran's having none of that, and he is trying to get the hell out of there. As you can see from the rest of the battle, it's not progressing particularly well. The guys who overran the right-hand flank have now swept into the center and have contested the cap there. You can see a Lerva now in the cap circle. The AMX-12T from earlier has ran away. T95 is being flanked by a Panzer Soufflé. So I think Babaran might have to try and hot-foot it over there, as the T95 only has artillery as backup. And if somebody gets alongside or behind a T95, it's pretty much curtains for him. Babaran heading towards the cap circle, though. Going to see if he can maybe reset the cap with this Lerva. 12T still hanging around in the area, so he may be able to help. Looks like he hasn't just ran for the corners. Misses that shot somehow on the Lerva. I'm not too sure how, but he is traversing his turret in the wrong direction. So Babaran's able to land 1 good shot to reset the cap. Gets 1 through his lower plate there. Lerva puts 1 straight through Babaran's face, but now he's got the time that the Lerva needs to spend reloading to get as much damage as he can onto this guy. The AMX-12T is making a beeline. Moves forward just at the right time there for the Lerva to miss. Now he's got to try and put some shots through his front plate. AMX-12T comes in for the last bit of damage, takes the kill, and that T95 has somehow survived on that right-hand side. It's a little bit of a miracle. Maybe the Panzer Soufflé decided to go for the artillery instead. Lerva raging a little bit in chat, but I wouldn't necessarily call that luck. I'd pretty much call that skill, moving forward at exactly the right time that the Lerva fired. Well, maybe that was a little bit of luck as well. And the Lerva just planting his only shot over his head. And somehow the Allies have managed to swing this one back around into their favour. Now Babaran's going to have to come and try and take on this Tiger 1. Does get tracked. Luckily he hasn't done any hit point damage. The MX-12T's hopefully going to come in and help him out here. Babaran's got to be aware that the Tiger 1 has a tremendous rate of fire, so he's going to have to be careful. Tiger 1 hopefully switching his attention up to the AMX-12T now. And Babaran's able to take him out. Pick up kill number 5, 3,000 points of damage, and really being instrumental in his team picking up the victory on that game. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget to stick around, guys, because as always, there is another game coming right up.
Let's get this show on the road.
And our second replay is from the user Arabica. That is Arabica, and he's driving the AMX 1390 on an encounter battle on Erlenberg. AMX 1390 is a Tier 8 light tank for the French. It's got that 6-shell auto-loader. It's able to kick out a nice amount of damage, has a decent hit point pool for a light tank, and good speed and maneuverability as you would expect from a light tank. This thing is definitely able to sway the course of games. So straight away, Arabica are going to be heading over to this left-hand side and going to be trying to spot out who he can. You can see a couple of light tanks making an early push up the centre there. The enemy AMX 1390 on the other side of the river, 1375 on this side of the river. Arabica are going to see if he can pick off a shot. Gets a beautiful predictive shot on the AMX 1375 to take him out, and that's a very quick kill now. The AMX 1390 is faring a little bit better on the other side of the river, although his days are probably numbered as well. Only one artillery apiece, so I can't really see why the enemy light tanks decided to suicide scout as quickly as they did. It's not like these guys are going to get picked off by huge sky cannons. Oh, very unlucky just to miss that 1390 there as he tries to make a run for it. But he gets taken out in short order by the T-34-2, as we expected. Like I said, not really sure why those AMXs decided to make a suicide scouting run like they did, but well, it happens sometimes, and Arabica's going to move on forward a little bit now. Enemy team not got any light tanks left, so he's going to have the pick of the scouting here. Does find the enemy IS. Didn't have time to allow his gun to aim there, so just missed that shot, unfortunately. Going to see if he can spot anybody else making the move across the courtyard here. Looks like the area is all quiet. Got that IS-3 in the background a little bit there, so going to have to be wary of him. If he decides to pop out and make a move, Arabica could suffer a serious amount of damage. Just looking to see if he can get a shot on this KV-3 there, but it looks like he is well hidden in and amongst the buildings, although he is dueling with a VK-2801 at the moment. Finds a Jagdpanther in the distance, although unfortunately the terrain just lies in such a way that Arabica is not able to get a hit on him. This tank does not have very good gun depression. Fires off a little bit early there and unfortunately misses, but he gets taken out now by the IS-8. And Arabica is going to use this opportunity to try and maybe close down some distance on the IS-3, who will no doubt be focused in front of him on this IS-8. And Arabica gets a great shot through his side armor, dips down underneath him here. He's got one shot left, puts it through his drive wheel there just to keep him tracked and gets a little bit more damage. IS-3 is trying to track Arabica here. He was going to try and carousel around him, but decided that that wasn't going to work out, so decided just to head down the hill there to get underneath the IS-3's gun depression. So an excellent little bit of play there, just to keep himself alive, knowing that the IS-3 doesn't have fantastic gun depression, so just dropped down to the bottom of the hill so the IS-3 couldn't see him. And now all of these guys that went left-hand side are going to have to transition to the other side of the map, as the enemy team has the rest of those allies in a pincer move at the moment. They've got a huge contingent of forces all the way down that 9 and 0 line, and another contingent of forces down the 6 line, and that leaves the allies stranded in 8 with people in front and behind them here. So not going to fare particularly well. Arabica's got his cannon loaded, and he's making a beeline over here. You can see the T-34-2 and the IS-3 making moves down the way there, trying to get into the buildings and trying to get out of that situation and get safe. 34-2 falls now, does spot out the artillery. Looks like he realizes he's been spotted and he's making a move. Unfortunately, it's not going to be quick enough, and he is now eliminated, and that's kill number 2. And Arabica are going to move forward and try and cover the IS-3 as he tries to fall back. T-30 is caught out in the open. Going to allow time to aim here. Gets one good shot on his front plate there. Going to see if he can get a second. Unfortunately, looks like the T-30 backed off just in time, but not far enough, as Arabica is able to pick him off through the rafters of that destroyed building for a fantastic shot. Got one shell left. Probably going to use it on this VK-4502. Going to see if he can maybe pick out a weak spot, but it looks like from the angle that he's at, even if he hit the lower plate, probably wouldn't be able to put that shot through there. Going to back off and reload his cannon here. He's going to sit for a brief second and wait for his camo to kick back in, and then going to advance down the side of the hill here. Just playing it a little bit cautious because there was an ST1 last spotted in the area just up the north there. So Arabica just trying to play it carefully. Doesn't want to take a shot to the face and get taken out. Cannon is almost reloaded here, so he's almost certainly going to use this opportunity to come around behind the VK4502, who is now focused fully in front of him on that T44. And Arabica should be able to get one good shot through his side. Can he get another? He can indeed. That's kill number 4. Now he's going to try and pick off this IS-8 from distance. Lands one shot which takes out his track to keep him pinned in place. His second goes through the rear armor. Looks like the IS-8 is traversing his gun towards Arabica, but at that range with that snapshot probably shouldn't land a shot. Somehow he managed to land a shot. What is snapshot by that IS-8? Not only hitting him immediately after the turret traverse, but also putting it through the AMX's lower plate and taking out his engine. And Arabica having to use that repair kit to just fix up his engine, because a light tank that isn't fast is a dead tank. So the Allies have managed to pull this one into their favour now. Wasn't looking too good for them earlier when their forces on this flank were completely surrounded, but now it looks like the guys who won the left-hand flank were able to bring it back. Arabica's got a Tiger 1 in his sights here. He's going to land shot after shot, takes out his track. I don't think the Tiger 1's got the turret traverse. He hasn't. And that is kill number 5. Got 3 shells left in the container. The IS-8 has 634 hit points. On a good day, that should be more than enough shells to be able to take out this IS-8 from full to 0. But there's always the chance of getting a 0 damage critical or bouncing or getting low rolls. That is 1. Needs another 2. That is 2. And I think one more shot should be enough, and that is kill number 6 and a well-deserved Top Gun medal. Everyone is saying in chat that the ST1 is AFK. Still in the same spot, so Arabica's going to go and try and find him. Allies going for a base capture there, but it looks like some of them are being pals and just moving out of that capture circle now. The ST1 is over there. He is AFK. His gun's pointed down. But that's strange because he didn't spawn in that location, so it looks like he drove this far and then decided to rage quit halfway through the game. Arabica is now going to be able to pick up a huge amount of damage if his allies don't decide to go for a base capture. But with just 5 seconds left on the clock, it looks like they may go for the base capture anyway. Nope, there we go. Everybody is being a pal and allowing Arabica to pick up a huge 1,400 points of damage and an extra kill. So absolutely awesome game there from Arabica, showing his skills in the AMX 1390, playing a steady, methodical game, taking apart the enemy surgery style. Surgical and precise. So absolutely awesome replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Don't forget, guys, if you've got yourself a great replay, then please send that in to replay@screenreality.com. The link for that is in the description. Just attach the replay file itself or the link to the What Replay website to the email, and I'll be able to check that one out for you. And don't forget, if you enjoyed this video, you found it useful, informative, you liked it, or you learned something, then think about hitting that subscribe button, because there's a lot more World of Tanks content on this channel. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time.